Hey guys, today we're at Kunjip Tofu. We've been here quite a few times before, and they've always been consistent with both the quality of the ingredients and the flavors. To start, we ordered 2 bottles of traditional Korean pumpkin seakai. I thought it was just a sweet drink, but after the first sip, I realized it's actually much thicker, almost like a rice porridge. It was surprisingly filling, so I couldn't finish much of it. The flavor was lovely though, lots of toasted rice aroma with the natural sweetness of pumpkin and a smooth creamy texture. For our first appetizer, we ordered the kimchi ssam. It's made with white kimchi wrapped around sweet peppers, pickled yellow radish, and cucumber. The whole thing is sweet, refreshing, and pleasantly tangy. The real star though is the pine nut sauce on the side. It has an incredibly rich nutty aroma and a silky buttery texture. Each ingredient keeps its own identity while complementing the others instead of competing for attention. It's one of those dishes we order every single visit. Our second appetizer was the seafood pancake, filled mainly with shrimp and octopus. The pancake was cooked beautifully with a delicate crispy crust on the outside. The flavors are fairly subtle, so it's served with a soy-based dipping sauce that brings everything together. While we waited for the Galbi Tang to cool down, I tried our last appetizer, Chilean seabass twigim. This is another must order for us. Gamtai is a type of seaweed that grows along Korea's southwestern coast and has a much more fragrant aroma than regular seaweed. The fish is fried beautifully, with a crispy outside and incredibly tender, flaky flesh inside. You only get 2 pieces of fish, but they're also served with 2 different sauces. Every time though, we end up reaching for the black garlic aioli only. It's just the perfect match. By this point, I was honestly almost full. Then this abalone Galbi Tang completely caught me off guard by being so ridiculously good that I somehow finished the entire bowl. The broth is deeply savory with an incredibly rich, almost milky flavor. Korean soups always amaze me. They look crystal clear but somehow taste incredibly full-bodied. The richness comes from the beef fat and it is so clean and pure that it never feels greasy. Here is a quick look at the Galbi tofu soup that is our order. They definitely don't skimp on the ingredients and the flavor is fantastic. I stole a spoonful and what I liked the most was the tanginess from the kimchi after it's been simmered for a long time. Then I went back to finish off the kimchi wraps. I seriously cannot stop thinking about this pine nut sauce. It looks so rich that you're almost afraid to dip too much, but once you taste it, it's incredibly light and never feels heavy. The creaminess somehow exists just to make the pine nut taste even more fragrant. You can honestly eat a big spoonful by itself, and instead of feeling overwhelmed, you just think, wow, that's delicious. It's kind of magical. After that, it was time to fully commit to my Galbi Tang. First, a spoonful of rice soaked into that incredible broth. Then a huge bite of the glass noodles. The noodles here are fantastic. They feel soft at first, but still have that satisfying chew. The abalone wasn't huge, but it was very fresh and cleaned really well. It was cooked just a touch too long, so it was slightly firmer than I'd like. The beef short ribs, on the other hand, were phenomenal. They'd been simmered until they would fall apart tender, practically sliding off the bone, and the portion was incredibly generous. A bite of beef, another spoonful of broth over rice. Somehow, I felt even hungrier as I kept eating. That night, my eyes were bigger than my stomach because we still had a whole plate of spicy braised Wagyu oxtail waiting for us. The oxtail had been slow braised long enough for all the collagen to melt into the sauce. It wasn't quite far off the bone when you look at it, but it was wonderfully tender. The sauce is classic Korean sweet and spicy. At first, I wasn't completely sold because it tasted sweeter than I expected, but after taking the leftovers home and reheating them the next day over a bowl of rice, I totally got it. It was seriously addictive. Once I put the oxtail down, I devoted my full attention to the abalone Galbi Tang. I just kept drinking broth and eating meat, and eventually I even started using the giant serving ladle sitting on the side. That thing is practically a bowl by itself, and honestly, it's amazing. One huge scoop of piping hot broth warms you up instantly. Eventually, I started playing around with it. I'd shred the beef, pack in a scoop of rice, pour over more broth, give everything a good stir, and happily slurp the whole thing down.